Welcome to Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Meghan Payton, and we are going to get into this Week 3 matchup. But before we give you all of the info, we are asking you guys to please subscribe to this channel. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. And I know I say this all the time, but I know most of you watching these videos are not subscribed. So please go click on that big red button. Help us get to 5,000 subscribers. We are at 4,297. Help us out so we can keep giving you guys free Steelers content. And thank you to our presenting sponsors over at BetQL. Guys, BetQL gives the best bet recommendations. I don't care what sport you are going to bet on, but they are the people to use. We're going to get more into this, but go to chatsports.com/SteelersQL. And if you use the code ChatSteelers, you're going to get 25% off of all of their subscription offerings. Do not want to miss that deal. More to come on that. But this Steelers are going to be taking on the Cincinnati Bengals at home. This is the first divisional game of the season, so this is obviously a very important game for Pittsburgh. Right now, the Steelers are favorites at -3, and I mentioned BetQL. Their 5-star bet for this week is that the Steelers are going to cover. So they're confident in this -3 Steelers covering. So if you want to bet, that's a fun little tip for you guys. Like I said, this game is going to be in Pittsburgh. The over-under is set at 43.5 right now. We're going to get into kind of the keys to victories for Pittsburgh to come up on top in this game. But right now, I want you guys to go to the comments and predict the score. What do you think is going to happen in this divisional Week 3 matchup? Let me know in the comments. And before we break down what needs to happen for Pittsburgh to win, we just want to do a quick injury update. Obviously, if you've seen Mott's video, if not, go and check it out from yesterday. He did a report on Ben Roethlisberger's injury. He's dealing with a left pec injury. And I mean, it's not surprising. He was sacked twice and hit 10 times in Week 2. I said this before, injuries are going to come up if we can't get this fixed in the O-line. So right now, I mean, I think it seems like Big Ben's going to maybe be able to play, but if not, we're going to be looking at who's going to be taking over that start, whether it's Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins. But Big Ben did say in a press conference, I can laugh okay. Typically, it hurts when I reach for something outside of the framework of my body or when I try to push up or get off the ground or something like that. But today is only Wednesday. We have a lot of time to get ready to go. And we know that Big Ben isn't afraid of playing with a little bit of injury. We saw that last year. And it's funny enough, he actually was dealing with an injury and had to sit out for some COVID regulations last year and ended up putting up a ton of yards against, guess who? The Cincinnati Bengals. So a little bit ironic. They're obviously a different situation, but hopefully he's, going to be healthy enough to play in this Week 3 matchup. But if he's not, I want to hear from you guys. Who would you prefer as the backup? Who do you want to start in place of Big Ben? Do you want it to be Dwayne Haskins or do you want it to be Mason Rudolph? They've been battling all of camp, so it's kind of unclear who would take on that role. Right now, the Steelers do have Rudolph listed as their number 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if they threw in a guy like Haskins, who I actually think is the better player. But let me know what you guys think. If you like Dwayne Haskins, go to the comments and write H for Haskins. And if you like Rudolph, type R for Rudolph. But the things that need to happen in order for Pittsburgh to win, the first one being protect Big Ben. If he is playing, this is so important for so many reasons. Obviously, injuries being number one. And you know what? Protect whoever. If it's Dwayne Haskins, if it's Mason Rudolph, if it's Big Ben, I don't care who it is. This is where we need, and we talk about it all the time, we need this improvement from the O-line. We need to see improvement from Kendrick Green. We need to see improvement from rookie Dan Moore Jr. And I think we need to see a lot of improvement from Chukwuma Okorafor. And also we talked about the drama that occurred with Trey Turner and spitting on the Raiders player. And it looks like, yeah, he's not going to get suspended. He might get fined. But to me, this is a leadership issue for Trey Turner. We need to see him take on that veteran spot. He needs to have that role of just kind of watching out for these guys and taking on, the position of authority or leadership in this O-line room, but I think it's going to be important. Trey Hendrickson, last week when the Bengals were playing against the Bears, he had 3 tackles, 1.5 sack, a forced fumble. And to me, you've got to watch out for guys like this. They are going to be putting pressure on Big Ben or whoever's playing. And so we've got to see improvement from the O-line. Do you guys think that the O-line will play better in week 3, despite who the quarterback is? What do you guys think? If you think they will play a little bit better, type Y for yes. And if not, type N for no. I told you guys a little bit about BetQL, but just want to explain to you kind of their model. They look at over 350,000 unique bets, and they provide you guys with the best bet recommendation, whether it's player props, spreads, over-unders. They've got it all for literally every sport out there. If you go right now to chatsports.com/SteelersQL and use the promo code ChatSteelers, you're going to get 25% off of all of their subscription offerings. And like I told you, right now, their 5-star bet is that the Steelers are going to cover at -3. So they're confident in that. That's a little tip for you guys, but go check out their offerings right now. The next key to victory, I think, for Pittsburgh to come up on top is to pick Joe Burrow. And we've talked a little bit about how important it is for the secondary to kind of, come up and kind of help out where the offense is struggling and maybe put up some points of their own on defense. But Joe Burrow might be the guy to do it with, because he has had so far 3 interceptions. One of those was a pick 6 last week. He's not necessarily at the best place with accuracy. He's got a 63.3 completion percentage. He's had 207 yards in week 2. He had 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. So this to me is something that the Steelers defense can take advantage of. Like I said, there's some struggles and some uncertainty on the Steelers offense. So if the defense can help out and get some points on the board, that would be great. I'm hoping that Joe Hayden is going to be back from that groin injury. Cameron Sutton, obviously, Minkah Fitzpatrick. These are guys that can really help improve the Steelers defense and help bring some points maybe on the board where the offense is lacking. But how many interceptions do you guys think that the Steelers defense will have in this week 3 matchup? Go to the comments right now and let me know. I think it's going to be higher than maybe you would think. I think Joe Burrow is still kind of learning and still, making some mistakes. So I think that this is where the Steelers can kind of utilize their depth in the secondary role. Hopefully we're going to see more of those guys back who were out due to injury. The next key to victory that I have is that the offense needs to score faster. We just said that, yes, the offense has been struggling to get points up on the board, but this is important. If you just look at the slow start that the Steelers offense has had, they only had 1 touchdown in 3 quarters against the Raiders. The Steelers had no points in the first half of week 1 on offense, and they need to take an early advantage in week 3. This is so important because you can't just expect to win games if you're not going to put points up on the board for essentially a full half and then come back. This is where we need to see improvement. And, whoever the quarterback is, maybe this is where we're going to see a little bit more of Najee Harris used. I think we got a little bit of excitement from him last week with his stiff arm and just his ability. So I think if we can start off early and get some points up on the board in that first half, we'll see some improvement and we'll have a better chance of coming up on top in this divisional matchup. And BetQL, guys, the place I told you has the best bet recommendations. They are doing a great deal right now with their sportsbook, BetMGM. If you go to chatsports.com/SteelersMGM, if you create an account and then deposit $10 into your account, you will get right after 24 hours after you bet, you'll get a free year of BetQL. Guys, this deal is insane. Like I said, they have the best bet recommendations for all of player props, over or under spreads. And so you don't want to miss out on this deal. Go to chatsports.com/SteelersQL and use the code SteelersMGM to get your 25% off. The last key to victory for the Steelers to win against the Bengals is that they need to slow down Jamar Chase. This is going to be important. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are only going to start meshing more. And he is obviously a rookie. He was a fifth pick in the 2021 draft. He is going to improve. He's still learning how to click with Joe Burrow, but I think that this is going to get better. And I think that this is going to be his best game so far. So the Steelers need to watch out for this. I think that this is where we're going to see improvement from the Bengals. So you've got to be prepared. And this is where obviously the secondary comes in. And if they can, come up and pick him off and just kind of cover him well, I think the Steelers have a good chance of winning this game. And like we said, right now they are favorites at -3. We'll see how that changes maybe over the week. The over-under is set at 43.5. So like we said, BetQL likes them covering at -3. I like it too. We'll have more to come on this week 3 matchup and obviously all of the injury news that has been occurring. And we'll keep you guys updated all season long.